I'd like to ask a question, Stuart.
Yes.
Um, I had the experience this week of meeting with my first teacher of this work, and he left about 30 years ago to do another kind of practice. And I found in talking with him, I listened to him for about an hour, him telling me everything that had happened in his life. And I found myself wanting to draw him back into our work. Could you please talk about this issue of trying to influence other people's work?
Well, you have to respect people. And if somebody has the need to do this meditation practice, there's no problem drawing them into it. But if it's outside of somebody's consciousness, their understanding, the way they want to live their life today, there's no way that you can talk to them about what is going. I know who you're talking about, and what I teach today is so vastly different
Yes.
than what he when he studied with me many years ago. And I don't know if he needed this. The door is always open. But how do you talk somebody into having, doing something that you can't do it?
No.
But if something in them is touched, they need it, they want it, you know, uh, you can't keep the door closed. They will break the door down and get in. So what I would advise is be friends with him and don't try to sell him on this meditation practice. He knows what it is, although he doesn't really know what it is
Mhm.
because it's so different today. It's so much more profound. It touches on life in such a deeper way than it did when he used to study with me. So, it's up to him. I mean, people get out of this very often what they're ready to get from it, and they go on to other things in life. You know how many thousands of people have come and gone from my life? And the difficulty is that when people try to come back, it's very, very hard. I think 1 out of 100 are capable of doing that, really coming back and doing the work after not having been doing it for a long time. So I don't say anything. My job is to nurture every single person who's sitting in this class. My job is not to worry about people that are not here. My job is to give the deepest part of myself, of what I have learned in my life, to each and every person sitting in this class. And having made that commitment years ago, it means that every single one of you are part and parcel of my inner growth. And I think that is really important. And it's like a marriage, it's like an extraordinary marriage. And in order for it to work, everybody has to let go of something. Everybody has to surrender something. And then it begins to work. So I would be friends with him. I used to really love him very much. He was very close to me. Be friends and see where it goes. I mean, and if nothing else, you have a good friendship. I mean it. Everybody doesn't have to do this, which doesn't mean that we can't be friends with people and respect what they have chosen to do in their life. When he told me he was going to do what I absolutely never said a word to him about. I said, I really wish you the best, you know? And it's the same with anyone. When people tell me they're leaving here, all I do is wish them the best. What am I going to do? Try to convince them to stay? When I was really young, I used to try to convince them to stay, and then it never worked. For some reason or another, they would always find a reason that they don't want to do it anymore. And, I never understood it because this meditation gave me my life. Without Rudy and without what he taught me when I was younger, and it really mixed up, crazy young man, you know? Without what he taught me and the training he gave me, I'd be dead today. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this with all of you. So, part of doing meditation is being grateful for those who gave you your life, made it possible for you to truly function on a much higher level than you were functioning earlier on. And then being willing to do something, not just sit on your ass and, and take in Shakti, but be willing to do something to say thank you. So what I'm saying is that whatever the situation is, be friends, love him, respect what he does. Don't try to convince him that Kundalini yoga is the path for him, because maybe it's not, probably isn't, or otherwise he'd be doing it. And sometimes it works, people, hey, where did you learn this? How did you learn this? This is extraordinary, and they may want to sit and study and develop themselves through the practice that we practice here. I always said, after years of running an ashram, I came to the conclusion the real power of an ashram are not the people that stay, it's the people that leave. What they leave with. Understand? When I left Rudy's house after living in his meditation center in New York, I left with a commitment to God, to a spiritual practice, and to doing whatever he taught me to help nurture other people. And it really meant getting over myself. So many of the things that I had to go live in Denton, Texas, for God's sake. I mean, I'd lived in Paris, I lived in Rome, I lived in Athens, I lived all over the freaking world. And here I was being sent to Denton, Texas to run an ashram. Well, not even an ashram, a bunch of, basically drug dealers that were living in a house that wanted to study with Rudy. It's true. Turn out these kids were the biggest drug dealers in Texas, some of them, And I remember when I went down there and I discovered this, I told them, if you want me to stay and you want Rudy to ever come back here, you're going to have to put all the drugs in this house in and flush them down the toilet. And I think I wound up with 4 students. The rest of them wouldn't do it. All right. Because I knew Rudy wouldn't go there. It was the only rule he had in his meditation practice, no drugs. So what I'm saying is that the greatest service you can do any teacher is truly learn what the teacher has to teach and then being able to use it in your life. And hopefully to use it in a way where it can nurture other people, it can give life to other people. And as far as this person is concerned, just love him, Pat, and be friends with him. And,
Yeah.
don't try to convince him what we're doing here is for him, because it's not going to work. It will work if he says, hey, Pat, you really have grown a lot. What have you been doing? Can I find out about it? All right, I'm going to tell him. It's like any university. The greatest reflection of a university are not the people that have been studying there for 10 years, It's the people that learn what it had to teach and then go on and make a life for themselves because of what they learned there. And this is the same thing. I don't want disciples. I'm not, I've had disciples. A pain in the ass. Yeah. I want people that learn this and go on and use it in their life and use it to do extraordinary things in their life. I used to go places where people, well, I don't have to do deep inner work. I'm living in the aura of my guru. He does all the work and I will grow because of that. I used to hear this crap and I would say, oh my God, it's probably the greatest disservice you can do your spiritual teacher. Dumping your karma on him or her.
Mm.
And I used to listen to this stuff. Well, why don't I do? I'm living in the aura of my guru. Sai Baba used to have a lot of that, poor guy, living in the aura of. And I used to say, look, that's probably I used to think, I never said anything that it's the greatest disservice you can do as spiritual teacher. The greatest service you can do is inner work that really allows you to learn everything they have to teach you. Take in the Shakti, take in the energy. Don't analyze, don't critique, take in the energy. Let it really nurture you as deeply as you can possibly have it nurture. As I say all the time, this is a filling station here. That's all it is. It started out as kind of a joke, but it's really true. I run an Exxon station here for Shakti.
Mm.
People know the meditation exercise. If they do it here, they receive an enormous amount of energy that can help transform their life. Also, it doesn't allow me to take it too seriously. Or ever get some image of who I am and what I am and all this crap. Just do service to God, do service to higher energy. Become a channel to which that energy can help give life to other people. Does anyone else have a question?
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Pat. I mean, if that person ever brings me up, just tell them there's always been a place in my heart for him. Okay?
Yes, I will.
Please. Does anyone else have a question? You have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Nobody's gonna. Okay, if there are no more questions, then thank you. God bless you all. Your presence here does nothing but help me to grow. And I have nothing but gratitude to each and every one of you. God bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be meditation tomorrow evening. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. There's also, in case some of you don't know, there's a retreat next month towards the end of April. If you're interested in attending, let Jennifer or myself know, and we'll put your name down. God bless you. Thank you. Good evening and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Stuart, again.
Good night, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Bye.
Thank you.